Hi everyone, it's so good to be back. Thanks so much to Neo for covering for me. I'm Nthabiseng Mosieane and this is On The Record. Today I have Awethu Hleli, the most beautiful girl in the world, and I am so excited and so happy to have her here to talk everything BloodPsalms. Awethu Hleli, how are you?
Hi babe.
I'm good, Ngozi. I'm excited to have you here. Sincokole BloodPsalms. But before then, how was your day? Like, are you good?
I'm good. I had a self-tape to submit early this morning. Yeah, otherwise, all good, man. All good.
Okay, excellent. So let's get into BloodPsalms. You know, now that it looks like we've come to the end of BloodPsalms. I just finished watching episode 10, and for me, just as a viewer and from the outside in, it was such a pleasure, first of all, to have watched it and to have seen a show with so many themes and elements of magic and just a larger than life kind of world. So for me, I'm curious to know on your end, what is the world of BloodPsalms like for you, both as an actor and as a viewer, having seen it 2-3 years later?
The world of BloodPsalms. I mean, as a viewer, it's chaotic, you know, it's unfamiliar, it's messy, you know. But it's a very beautiful but ugly world at the same time. With it's a magical world. It's a world of prophecies. It's a world of heroes. It's a world of kings and queens, you know. And it was just beautiful being part of that reimagined world.
Yes, I can imagine that. But now, when you've seen it as a viewer, and I'm sure you've watched the episodes, you know what it looks like in your head, right? But then when all the pieces of the puzzle are put together, the GFX, the music, the art, how you look, how did you see when you saw yourself? What did you think?
I hated myself. Okay, so first of all, I hate watching myself because as actors we always judge our choices, you know. So it's not really fun for us to watch ourselves because you're like every 2 seconds you're like, oh my god, why did I make that choice? But also just looking at Ilitye, I'm very big on transformation, and I loved how that came through, you know. But how everything came together, you know, being part of it was one thing, but also watching it now was something else. It was nothing like what I had imagined. Absolutely not. Yeah.
So
way better.
I can imagine it's way better because now I think when I had read about it before I watched it, I was actually blown away by just like everything. And sometimes it just makes me think it's such a it's like 10 years ahead, right? And we only just touched the surface with the story.
I mean, just the surface. There's a lot, you know, and this is why when I have conversations with friends and talking about BloodPsalms, it's just one of those shows where you have to go back, you know, because you missed something. There's so much, you know, in just a one episode or in just a one scene. So you have to go back, you know, have to go back 2 episodes or one episode and be like, oh, okay, this now makes sense, you know. Yeah, it's challenging also our viewers. That's one of the things I love about it.
Yeah, no, definitely. So Ilitye, first of all, I think that's such a unique name. I love all the names that actually put up for BloodPsalms. I found your character, very interesting in the sense that Ilitye is torn between the cause Kapuruti and what Puruti wants to achieve and following Ilitye Mzansi. And in your opinion, why was Ilitye always back and forth with this whole situation?
Ilitye is in a very sticky situation. I'll tell you that. So Ilitye is she was raised with principles, you know. She's a young girl that knows right from wrong, you know, and we are but her weakness is that she wants to please everyone, you know. With Mzansi, it's a matter of she knows that he knows that you should know better, Ilitye. And with Buruti, it's a matter of if I don't help her, who else can, you know, or who else will? And I think the being torn between the two boils down to loyalty. You know, she wants to be loyal to both of them, and it's quite sad, you know, because she looks up to Mzansi and she wants to prove herself to Mzansi, but at the same time, because Buruti is a mess, you know, and Ilitye finds herself in trouble always because of Buruti. But as much as people can see it as a weakness, you know, but she's a good person. She just wants everyone to be happy, and she just doesn't want any trouble.
And that's the thing, right? Because both Mzansi and both Buruti have valid reasons, very valid reasons. And you believe both reasons, but you can also see why Buruti needs to do what she needs to do. So I think it's very endearing going back and forth and trying hard to be like, no, but we need to follow this. But no, Buruti does make sense of what she's saying, but what do I do? And I think your reasons were noble. I think she made the right decision in doing what she could, the best way she could.
The best way she could. Yes.
Exactly. Yes. Right. So Mother Superior, I respect Mother Superior, ne? And she is such a leader. She's a mother. She's a mother. She's Mother Nature. You know, she's everything, right? And underground, what does Mother Superior mean to everyone? Like, what does she represent for everyone who is in the Akachi tribe?
Mother Superior, like you've just described, she's a mother, you know, but also I think one of her biggest duties is to protect, you know, because as we all know, Amaqini are they're not wanted, you know, and we are seen as these barbaric animals that just eat everything, and we dangerous to the society. And her job is to take care of her own. And also one of the biggest duties is to not only protect her own people, but also to protect the secrets, the messages that she receives from the gods, you know. And she's very wise, but also she knows the truth, but she also finds herself in a very difficult position, because she can't, with Buruti's situation, she knows that she's telling the truth, but she's also like, I can't really, but I have to. If there's anyone else who should be doing this, it's me, you know. So yeah, she's a mother.
Yeah, she certainly is a mother. Now, what's curious, in episode 10, Mzansi is literally burnt at the stake in episode 9. And then Buruti once again seeks your help in fighting her. And
once again,
you have to go through that whole situation. But I loved how when Buruti knocked above there, and then Mzansi's body fell down, no Buruti watcha, and then you were like, you
told you.
That part was so funny to me. So let's just talk quickly about your relationship with the Buruti and just with Mandisa in general, like just like how you guys maintain that relationship, because it's sister to sister, but you caution her every time, and like I'm a man. So just that challenge of working with, of talking to Buruti, and also I suppose the joy of working with Umandi. So how was that like?
Oh, Mandisa was such a pleasure to work with.
Yeah.
Such a generous performer. I enjoyed, I loved working with her because we figured things out together, you know. We met day one of shoot, and we had not met before. And we had to figure this tribe out because we had to establish, everything for this tribe. And it was just the two of us. And to have such a generous actor to work with just made also my job easier. And the chemistry also was just, genuine, easy, the energy easy. And we had fun, with our characters' relationships. We had fun, the scene you're talking about, where I'm like, again, told you, and it goes back to what I said about Ilitye, that she's all about principles and rules, that we can't do this, and if we do this, this is what's going to happen, but I think also she doesn't quite understand this relationship Buruti has with Mzansi, and Mzansi is an outsider. Come on, she's an Akachi. You know what I mean? The last place, So I think she also battles with that. What is it with this Zazi? What is it with her?
Wasn't it difficult? I can, I respect the craft of acting so much. And I was just thinking about how you had to transform for the role, right? And the biggest thing, I even had a conversation with Mandisa, is the physical change, and the consistently telling yourself that, okay, I'm part human, part animal. And your body, you have to remember dialogue, you have to remember facial expressions and physical works. Was this an easy preparation versus other productions you've been on, or was like, what was the key elements of this one to get yourself ready for your role of Ilitye, especially with the Gcini tribe?
So I did my prep as an actor with my script, right?
Okay.
And once I got to set, and once I stepped my foot in those caves, everything changed. It was quite scary, to be honest, because you're literally entering a very different world that not sonke, would just. And it changed everything because the air, first of all, inside there is different. It's very moist. So how you breathe, you breathe differently. The surface on the ground is different. So how you walk is also different. So those things I had to take into consideration with my prep that I had done before. And I was like, there's no ways, And the biggest challenge was that I had to make people believe that she has lived in those caves her whole life.
Yeah.
So from being there like for 10 minutes, I had to understand the environment, those caves, and adjust also physically. With the transformation, I'd say that coming from a theater background and being trained in physical theater and movement, you understand your body, and you use elements, you use earth, water, fire, air to kind of understand your character. What element is this character? So when they transform, what do they transform into? What element do they transform into? So that kind of helped me. But it was very challenging, because you can imagine your physical body, and it's breaking out into this animals. So namatambo, even the bones, it's painful. They're getting bigger, and we had to portray that. But I had fun. I enjoyed it.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. It makes us all the more better. I mean, like, I think every experience just grows you as a person. And I think that was really like a very, very unique one. Like the Nthabiseng tribe are really, really special. So, and now just moving on to that. So you've obviously worked with Jamil before. And I believe you have a very, very good working relationship together. And of course, now I'm a bit of a fan because I loved you in what's that boxing movie now? Knuckle City.
Knuckle City.
Me and my family are massive, massive, massive fan of your work. So, the role of Ilitye, how did Ilitye come about? How did you get to Ilitye?
I was at the airport.
Yes.
In Cape Town, and this is an app coming to Joburg, and I get a call from this lady. She's like, "Hey, so Jamil, when you land, Jamil would like to have a word with you." I'm like, "Okay." Then we met. We were attending the SAFTA nominations thingy for 2020. So Knuckle City cast and everything. So after the event, Jamil comes through. He's like, "So I got something for you." I'm like, "Talk to me." He's like, I wrote something for you, a very, very nice role, Ilitye. And I was like, Ilitye Booty, of all names, Ilitye. But I kind of fell in love with the name, as a Pashaliamba, because Ilitye is like a rock. And yes, most of us is in Bogoto, but I love I love all everything that represents Ilitye, and that's how Ilitye came about. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. I love everything about it. So, Mandisa said that I asked, I was like, Mandisa, who did you most enjoy working with? I'm going to be biased here. I'm sorry, but they just reign supreme. They just reign supreme. I cannot tell anyone else. I could mention all the names, but I just love the people I worked with. I love working with everyone, like everyone in the Nthabiseng tribe, just for me. And just like it was like a family at the end. So you also allowed to be biased if you want. It's your choice. Who did you most enjoy working with on BloodPsalms?
This is not fair. This is not fair.
I mean,
okay. Well, okay. Let's be honest. We didn't really get an opportunity to
engage with the others.
Other tribes, we were always in the caves. So we spent a lot of time together. And I think also because we shared what we all had in common was the fact that we were all thespians. And those caves were our playground. And Jamil is easy, he's just like, play, do your thing, you thespians, just do your thing, do whatever. And it's true what Mandisa says, that we became a family, myself, Tembegile, Fanny Swa, Mandisa, we were really close. And I spend most of my time, guys, with Mandisa. She's my day one, like literally day one, so we were very close. And I think also because we had each other's backs, so our relationship as actors and our relationship as our characters, it was beautiful to see the dynamics, but we always had our each other's backs, and we always made sure that we're having fun, and we were always investigating. It never stopped until the last day. We always investigated. We always went back to the script. We always asked questions, and yeah, also, I mean, the Akachi thought they were the Beyoncés of, and it was just like, whatever,
Whatever.
Yeah. Whatever, yeah. So it was lovely. It was lovely being being with my people, my theater people. It made it so much easier.
It sounds like it very much. How was it shooting during lockdown? How was that process?
Ooh. Ooh. It was very challenging, you know. It was very challenging for us performers, actors, but I also assume that it was also challenging for the production itself. With the restrictions, and also, I mean, BloodPsalms has required a lot of background actors, and it wasn't easy, you know, and especially for Tina in the caves, because it's space inside there, and there had to be so many of us, but at the same time we had to keep in mind that, guys, there's a pandemic happening, you know. But what I will say is that I'm very grateful for BloodPsalms in that specific period, because a lot of us in the industry were not working. There wasn't any work, and to have that opportunity, it was a blessing, you know.
And
Yeah, it was tough. It was tough. We were also, everyone had the fear of getting sick also, you know. The minute you hear there's someone who's been, you know, and you're like, ah, fuck, we all need to test now. So yeah, it was tough. It was tough.
Which leads me to my last question. Having reflected and having had spent time after BloodPsalms and watching it on screen and watching the reception and everything, in your heads, having thought about it, what does BloodPsalms mean to you?
BloodPsalms for me is, it's that one brave person that took that one brave step, you know. I can only imagine what it was like for Jamil to write a story like this, you know. And it takes that one brave person, you know. And I think we are at a place now in our country and industry, there's a certain direction we're taking in terms of how we portray Black people. BloodPsalms is showing Black people in a different light, you know, and being part of that is amazing. It's true. I cannot even describe it. To be represented in that light also is amazing, to be part of that history, and it's very brave, and it's what we need right now.
Well spoken, sister. Words I have felt it and I have received it. And I'm really thankful that we could have time to be able to have a conversation so our viewers could also get to know you more and see you on You're My Favorite Place, because you, another transformation for another conversation for another day.
Thank you.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. So thank you so much, Awethu, and thank you for being a part of BloodPsalms. We cross our fingers that there will be a second season. We don't know when, but you know, so we can see more of this world and delve more into it.
We're hoping and praying for another season. We'd love another season, you know. Especially with the ending, it would be very interesting, you know. But yeah, I'm definitely excited about what we've just started, and thank you for having me. This was lovely.
Thank you
so much fun.
Thank you so much. I had so much fun as well. So yeah, I don't know, I feel like this is probably the last episode, unless if there's a surprise, but we'll see. We'll see about that. For real. Thank you, Awethu. It was a pleasure. And I'm going to put this out there. Enjoy the rest of your day, girlfriend. And yeah, we'll chat soon. Bye, girl.